So one of the year's best basketball shoes just got even better. Yo, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got something cool because we've got another Wade model. The first one that we reviewed came in this box, and this is the shoe right here. These are known as the Wade, sorry, should I?
I'm
like that ASMR stuff.
I'm over here trying not to like breathe all sickly into the mic.
I think there's like a cartoon character that sounds like that.
Oh, from Hey Arnold?
Yes. But anyways, this is the Wade 808-2. However, there's a brand new one. It's called the 808-2 Ultra. It is the reason why I was so confused about these in the first place, because this shoe stated that there was a removable midsole, but it also said replaceable, and that's where these come in. So the Ultra comes in this box, basic box, this box. This shoe is $120, which I feel like is a great deal. And I'm gonna talk about the regular 808-2s, okay? So these ones right here are $119 in the US. They have a website that is a US website, so you don't have to purchase from overseas or anything like that. We do have links in the description box if you want to just like to directly go over there. Again, for $120, that's one hell of a shoe. These only were increased to $159. As far as the shoe itself goes, obviously we'll break it down and everything, but I do feel like most of what you were increased is right here, like just the box, which is kind of stupid, but whatever. There are some things in here that I think are truly an Ultra or what Nike would call an elite, but not enough to be like, oh, I need these instead of these, or I need these and these, or whatever. But they're both great shoes. So again, we got the 808-2s, the 808 Ultras. The couple of things that we'll note right off the bat that are just the changes, and then we'll get into like their performance features and things like that. But the overall changes, first one is just an aesthetic piece. It's at the base of the laces. Instead of just having like a heat welded graphic on there, they have the Way of Wade logo and like a little metal grommet thing. The second thing is actually the materials. So the base layer of materials are exactly the same. So we have just a synthetic build. It's like kind of plasticky or vinyl-y. The overlay material though, which is the textile or the fabric, is a little bit different. The original Way of Wade 808-2, that one right there has a mesh top layer that is very similar to what we saw on the Air Jordan 34's like main, not every colorway, but like that first colorway especially. So that kind of mesh. This one right here, it almost looked like the Leno weave stuff from like the 37s, but it's not. It's not like a plastic material. It's still, you know, a fabric. It just is a little bit more spaced out. Like, I don't, what's the reason for that? There isn't one. So why is that like that?
Even more airflow.
It's the same airflow.
Even more.
The same. And then the third difference is the collar right here. So the 808-2 Ultra has the stretch knit collar, whereas the regular 808-2s have just a regular tongue. I prefer that. I'm not saying this is bad. I'm just saying like I got cankles. I don't want it to spill over. Why would you want a muffin top? It makes you just feel bad about yourself.
Are they that tight?
It's enough. Especially once you got socks on. I don't like it. Last but not least, the back portion of the shoe, slightly different. Obviously the same design and everything like that, but we have a TPU, and then on the Ultra version, we have a carbon fiber plate. This I do think is a full-on upgrade. The TPU is gonna work just fine for most people, but if you are, I don't know, like you just want something better, obviously the carbon fiber is gonna be it. Again, for most people, that guy right there is gonna be perfectly fine. You don't need this, but it is an option. So if you wanted to pay more and get a little bit more, then go for it. Obviously the price jump is not huge or anything like that, but those being so affordable at $120 and these still being affordable at $159, but I still feel like the box really took all that money. There's really not that many changes. So I just feel like the price difference doesn't equate Ultra versus regular, but it is what it is. At least they're not doing what Nike did. The elite stuff, like the regular shoes were already really expensive, and then the elites were like way past 200. I think like the original release of the elites were like 250 starting. Yeah. Now the main difference between the two models obviously is the guts or the inside of the shoe, and that's where we've got the drop-ins right here, or the removable and replaceable midsole options. So the original version came with the cloud cushioning system, which I think is perfectly fine, super comfortable, really bouncy. But the other one comes with Li-Ning's boom cushion, which is a nitrogen-based eTPU. So it's not quite an eTPU like Boost and everything. Like this one is like way lighter, so it doesn't feel as dense. It's funny because like, let me get the scale. in hand, they don't really like feel like too different, even though this one does feel lighter, which is really interesting because there's supposed to be like an extra piece in here, like a plate, where there's not in this one. Either way, the original is 2.59 ounces, so almost 3 ounces. And then the Boom is 2.17 ounces. So it is lighter in weight, even though you're supposed to be getting more cushion and there's more support features in the shoe. And there's a top liner in the forefoot area, which I think is awesome. As long as it stays glued down. I do wish that it went full length, but it's better than this stuff. Like, this is fine, but sometimes when they do things like this, and I'm not talking about just Li-Ning in general, I'm just talking about like the drop-ins in general. The most notable one was the GT Cut one, the first one, where before I was breaking those things in, like they would just chafe the out of my toe pads, and it was really uncomfortable. You wouldn't get like severe blisters, but it was enough to make your toes hurt.
When you're walking around afterwards?
Like raw, you know what I mean? Yeah, so like that's where a lining comes in versus just like sock on like plastic or rubber or whatever, the basic foam. So I do like that, and it does feel like an upgrade. However, when I put them both on one foot and the other, they felt the same. And I've tried so many shoes over the years, so many different cushion options. I think the reason why they did feel the same is because they're both housed, so there's nowhere for anything to move. So they're just kind of squishing down. If anything, this one, the Cloud one, felt a little bit better, and I think it's just because of these little cutouts right here. It just allows the foam to move and breathe a little bit, whereas this one is just one solid piece. Again, it's housed inside the shoe, so it didn't have anywhere to really move freely and everything like that. So as far as the way that it feels, I would say that they're damn near equal. Again, it just doesn't feel quite like, oh, these were great, this is like so much better. It's just like, oh, they're slightly better. But it does give you this option, which I do think is cool. I do wish though that they just sold these by themselves.
They should, especially since they say they're replaceable.
That's the part that like always bothers me, you know what I mean? Like, we're dealing with this with our son right now. He's just getting into like certain types of action figures. I've already been into action figures my whole life, so I already know how this works.
Nerd alert! What?
He-Man, right? Castle Grayskull came with an exclusive figure. You can't get it anywhere else. We understand that. It's since the 80s. Since the 80s. T-shirt available now. That was awesome. I know. That was not planned. But he's got this new Gohan figure, right? From the new Super Dragon Ball Superhero. What a weird name that was. He was telling me like just the other day, he was like, yo, I wish that this came with his glasses. Because in the movie he had glasses. And I was just like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. But it didn't, so whatever. And then today we see that they're selling Android 1 and Android 2. These are characters. If you haven't seen the movie, it's okay. It wasn't that great, but it was fun. Unless you ask her, she did not like it.
I laughed.
It was her first experience with Dragon Ball. And it wasn't a laugh like, oh, that was a funny scene. It was a laugh like, this is really sad that you guys like this. I felt attacked personally. But anyways, Android 1 and 2 come with different things. Not only do they come with the figures and their accessories, but one comes with Gohan with his glasses head, and he comes with like Piccolo's cape and stuff like that. And then the other one comes with the Super Saiyan head, and he was pissed. It's like, why does it do that? It just happens, man. Money's money. But anyways, those are the main differences between the two models. I think that they're both really, really solid shoes. What you're gonna get out of each one of them is gonna be incredible traction. Like, look at this, it's f***ing gorgeous. Not only that, but it's thick as too. So this would be a great shoe for indoor players and outdoor players. I would not take them indoors and outdoors simultaneously, but if you were able to afford one of each, cool. And then you could just take these and swap them in between each other. Maybe use this one for indoors sometimes, maybe outdoors, I don't know. But that could always be a viable option or a reason to buy two if you have a spouse and you need a reason, because sometimes that's the case. Both shoes have the same exact midsole caging, so you have this TPU panel right here. When everything is removed, it is completely see-through. Also, I forgot to say this earlier, but the shoes do come with these cool little breakdowns and everything, so it just kind of points out what's in the shoe. Now, the one thing that I am confused about though is that right here it says carbon fiber plate, and then it depicts a shank plate, which clearly
It's not in the rubber somehow?
No, so like, yeah, this is all empty. So yeah, that's the thing. Thank you for reminding me. If I was gonna make this truly an ultra version, I think that that's the one thing that would have completely changed everything between the two models, is adding a shank plate here on the bottom. We've seen this before in previous drop-in type of models. We've got the Kobe 8. These are a custom, for those of you guys being like, they never These are painted, so they don't look like the Kobe 8s, but, well, they do, but you know what I mean. Anyways, this has an actual glass-based carbon fiber shank plate at the bottom. The midsole is completely removable still, so I think that that is what they should have done instead of what they actually did. And I feel like that would have been $159. I'd been like, yo, no problem. Now, as far as the sizing is concerned, they both fit true to size. However, on their website, they do say to go up half a size for a proper fit. Like, I guess they think that they run snug. They actually sent both of these, by the way, so thank you to the brand, but each one of these is a 9.5. They don't fit me like a 9. They fit me like a 9.5. Like, I don't like that fit. I like my toes right at the edge. I like a nice snug fit, especially if I'm hooping. Hooping, not pooping, hooping.
You don't need traction in there?
Sometimes. Leave them skid marks and
I'm just saying, I've seen how you hobble out of the bathroom sometimes.
That's because I'm in there too long, okay? That's not, this is TMI, people. So that was a fun conversation at my expense. I don't even know what I was saying at this point.
You don't agree with their sizing.
Oh yes, that's right. So I would go true to size. If you wear a brace or something like that, then that's where I would be like, oh, go up half a size. If you have a really wide foot, you could do the same. Speaking of which, I do feel like they fit wide, but it could also just be that they're a 9.5 and not a 9. But I really love that super wide base and everything. Like, this is stability for days. I think that this is a great shoe, probably one of the best. Like, if we're talking about price and everything, like the most bang for your buck, this might be the best shoe for your money this year, basketball wise, performance wise. Obviously not retro, not lifestyle, none of that stuff. There's plenty of other offerings for that. But I mean, if I'm comparing this to the LeBron 20 at 200, I'm taking this. I'm comparing this to the KD 15 at 150. That's where I would pick that one, because it's 120 and not this one. Otherwise, I'd pick the KD 15s over these. Not for any reason other than they're easier for me to get. Like, I can go into a store and try on the KD 15s. Oh, and they have full length zoom, my favorite ever. But again, thank you guys so much for being here. We greatly appreciate it. We will catch you on the next one. And until then, have a good one.